Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to this segment. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay long. I know I already say that, but I'm serious this time. I'm not gonna stay long. I just wanted to say hi to everybody because it was such an intense night the other night. So I wanted to thank everybody that loves and supports me and that's always here. What I think I'm going to do, I thought that you responded so well to me showing my natural hair, and I'm so glad. Thank God that I have so many beautiful people in my life. I have you, I have Nipsey in my life, who have given me, hey Michelle, hi Shauna, hey Ladonis, oh thank you, you like the red, I like it too. Um, I wanted to try it. He was saying, "Why don't you try this with the red and the black?" Because I got the red fedora, and I have the blue fedora. But then I said, I'll do it both ways. I want to see what he thought. He told me to try the black fedora with the red scarf, red jumpsuit, and then I have like some like black. See if you can see it, like black here, black here. So yeah, I was like gonna try the black and red and the black with, then I'm gonna try, I know probably I'm starting late tonight, so I probably have to do it tomorrow. Try the red and then the black instead of the black and the red. So but what I was gonna do is, I'm starting a little late, so what I was gonna do is let you see this with the hat and the scarf and see if you liked it, because I thought it was so beautiful with the vibrant black and red with that beautiful red scarf. It just like pops. That kind of red looks good on my skin. And then I was going to take it off and do some of the products like with the spritz and the buttercream, because so many people when they buy it and they ask me about it and I tell them how to use it, and it works differently on different hair textures. So what I try to do is, when someone tells me they have like let's say 4 type hair, 4A, 4B, 4C, and it's very very coarse, it's very dry, then I'll make a thicker, richer buttercream to hold the moisture, and it'll be easy to comb along with the spritz. But for my type of hair, I get dry. I get up every morning. I have the same routine, whether I'm going to go somewhere or not. I always wet my hair with hot water. And I take some of my spritz, the leave-in moisture spritz, either the pink or the blue. And I'll put the buttercream on top. Or I do like the aloe vera gel with butter. And then it's easier. I don't comb it before then. And then I love my follicle stimulator oil because I love hot pepper. So I put the hot pepper on my scalp with the biotin and the biotin growth oil. Put it on there. And hi Monica, hi beautiful. And then I'll just slick it back, or I'll put it in when I let you see it, it's slicked back now. When I let you see it slick back, that's the first time I slicked my hair back in about 6 years. I usually have it 2 ponytails in the front, 2 ponytails in the back, and I could not believe that I was able to comb it. Like I said, all these years have gone by, and I had like a rat tail comb, so I know you're not supposed to do that, but I was able to comb. I can comb it now with the rat tail comb, and it doesn't come out. My roots are very strong. The hair is very strong again. It's growing. I just don't want to put any heat. I'm not going to blow dry. So I got to figure out, or I guess I'll just, I don't know, I might do a little bit of pressing, or probably just get like a roller set. I'll get me a steam roller or roller sets and a dryer, and I'll just do it that way, because I didn't like my hair at first. I know, true to me. I was looking at that orb too. I saw that orb. I'm like, did I just see an orb a minute ago? And I didn't like it everything about me I was always told was not good enough, not pretty enough, whatever. So I always want to be like someone else, or wanted to look like someone else. Like, and when the girls were getting the relaxers, I wanted the relaxer, and I wanted to blow out, and I wanted oh yeah, you got the buttercream, the cherry chocolate buttercream. So this is the first time in my life after losing my health and losing my hair and just sitting by myself, I started realizing, wait a minute, I wasn't so bad after all. Everything wasn't so bad after all. And I really started appreciating me. I mean, you can't really change. Sure, you can enhance what you are, but you can't change who you are. You can't change your DNA. You can't change your family. You can't change your bloodline. So this is the first time in my life that I learned, when I almost had no hair. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, that hair's not so bad at all. It's better than having none. It's better than having some that comes out every day and won't grow back. So it taught me to value my life. It taught me, and then too, since the video, I read the comments. People were saying they had the same. Oh my God, what is it? You see that? That, like the orb, something just, lights popped in and out. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it like that before. And made him, I don't know if you can see it. I made him his new food. Hold on, let me see if you can see it. I put new food for him out. His new food. I think I put pictures up there because his food was getting old, so I made it a few hours ago because I like to make sure, I clean his altars. He has fresh food on his altars. King Nipsey. So people started putting comments there, and they were saying they were having the same problem. They were losing hair. They had spots missing. Like I did, they comb it every day. And if they comb it 2-3 times a day, it's coming out. So what I learned is, like, what I started to learn is what I'm telling you, is that we all have to learn, especially because we only have a few weeks left in this year. And it is to learn to love and respect what you're given, and believe that you're enough. Look in the mirror every day and say, I am enough. I deserve to be here. I'm enough right now as I am to receive anything I want in this universe that's good. To attract anything I want right now in the universe that's good. Because everything is about energy. And when over time, and so many people, and I just had years because I was housebound, to sit and to think about this. Whenever you have a whole life of people, your own mother, not knowing your father, and then having the father figures, all the adults around you, to be so destructive, so abusive, and deny that you and your life have value, and then you get out in the streets, and you get out in the world, and then so-called friends and lovers and confidants. What are you saying? I'm your nosy neighbor, so I can move there for the bumper. Well, if you live next door, you and the baby, we just get together and we just cook and we just eat, all the time. We eat every week or once a week or whatever, because I always wanted family. I always loved family. I love good food. I love to wake up to the smell of it. What I remember in the projects with my grandmother, she did not drink coffee out of a coffee cup. She had a small bowl, and she would pour a bowl full of coffee and then put the milk, like the whole milk, or if she didn't have milk, she used the carnation milk, the condensed sweet milk, and pour that in there and pour sugar. Oh, she didn't let me drink. She's like, no, it's for grown people. But whenever she let me sip some of it, sometimes it was so good, and I would wake up to the aroma of a fresh pot of cooked coffee and bacon or ham with the thick slice of ham with the bone in the center, and cheese grits and eggs and the sausage patties. You like that? I was hoping you all liked it. I was like, it was Nipsey's idea. I know they don't like when I say it was Nipsey's idea. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. And I'm like, oh, I like that, boy. I like that. So then I'm going to flip it tomorrow. Tomorrow next day will be freaky. Because the next few days, I just want to have some fun with the products, with the AKT products. And since it's a little bit late now, I didn't want to, I might not feel like, okay, go take the head off, go take the scarf off, come back, and put the spray and the buttercream on my hair tonight, or I'll do it tomorrow, because people have been asking me about it. And when I did the show the other night, they were emailing me and asking me about the scalp exfoliation gel that I was saying Nipsey taught me how to make my scalp peel. Like it gets really itchy if I scratch it too much, but I was scratching it anyway, just itch. I scratch it, and then I would, I know that food has love. I hated grits, though. I'm still not a grit girl. I do not like grits. She didn't make me eat them, though. She didn't make me eat pig feet and chitlins and stuff like that. But just the smell of that rich black coffee just simmering on the stove, and the fresh biscuits and cheese and eggs and buttered toast, and just waking up to that. I love it. And then so I made sure my son was growing up. I didn't have to cook as much because I was with my grandmother, so she would cook. And then I had to learn how to cook when I got on my own. And so now when I'm cooking for Nipsey, my father, the different spirits that come here, I love the aroma of the food. And so like once a week, I let it sit there. People say let the food sit on the altar for about 3 days, but sometimes I just let it, like I just put it out today, about 3 or 4 hours ago. So I'm probably going to I'm not going to take it down Wednesday. I might take it down Friday because I like to make sure it's really dried out and the essence is out of it. So like once a week, sometimes twice a week, like I got 2 things there. Like he was saying I want some salad. So I got the plate of, he wanted a lot of collard greens and, a lot of work on this Chanel. I had to feel pretty. I never did. But I put it there, and then I make a salad, and then I eat with him. And they're still wanting the dessert part. Now, I don't like to leave the ice creams out because it gets a little sticky. So sometimes I'll consume it. I'm like, you're going to have to get inside of me, and I'll consume the ice cream for you and with you. But I don't want to just leave it out, the sticky stuff, the pastry stuff, because then the little bugs are coming in, and they'll be like sticking to it and eating it. But I loved waking up to that aroma. So if you were close by, and my godbaby, my little niece is close by, she'd probably be knocking on my door. I'd come get her to come to the door. Come over, we're going to eat something. Because I miss the tiny little Smurf voices and the tiny little feet walking through the house. I miss having babies in the house. I was like, I used to be around, when my son was little and other little children in the family. I love the cute little Smurfy voices, the tiny little voices, the tiny little hands, the tiny little clothes. So whenever I have little children that like me and want to talk to me, I just giggle inside because I miss, being a mommy and having the little bitty babies around. But this is the first time in my life, like, going through so much and thought I was going to die. Several times, and being so ill. And like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then when Nipsey came in and said, please read me, I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that for you because I feel so sick. And I did not eat. I got tempted. I didn't eat all the ice cream. I gave them some. And then I was like, whoa, I love butter pecan. I didn't know it had all. I love the butter pecan ice cream that has a lot of nuts in it. I hate it when they have some brands of ice cream and there's a whole bunch of ice cream and 3 or 4 goddamn nuts sprinkled through the box. But I love the kind that's very rich and it's not a lot of fillers in it, and it has a lot of real big pieces of pecans, or instead of little bitty broken little crumbled chunks and shit. I know. So Shannon brought me that kind. It has a big chunks, a lot of nuts in there. Oh my God, I'm going to eat this ice cream. I had to make myself stop eating all that ice cream. You know what, Charlie? I don't miss her coming here with my brother. I cannot believe she came here and just gonna try to run my house like she runs him. But there was a beautiful story when the man came in, because Nipsey was standing there laughing. He thought it was funny that she was doing that. And then the man came in with his freaky ass and started talking, and Nipsey started laughing. I said, oh, I know why you liked it. Both of y'all is the same like. So he's talking, and then I talked to Shannon after that. Shannon said her mother and grandmother, did the grandmother go, Shannon, or the mama got in a throw that pee contest? Throw that pee contest! Throw that pussy contest! Down here and won the throw that pee contest. And I said, wait a minute, so I wasn't hearing the wrong thing. My husband talking about throw that pee and listen up, y'all, throw that D. She talking about, no, they had listened to throw that pee and throw that D. That's... And she said that her grandmama used to get the knee-high black stockings and the flesh tone stockings, the thigh-high grandmama, undercover holy freak, sanctified freak. And I said, oh my God. So I was picking. She said, yes, you were hearing it. But then I was confused because she said she had two husbands. One I saw was a tall, dark skinned one, and one was a lighter skin. She's like, one is brown skin and one is light skin. I said, oh my God. So grandma got two men in the spirit. Tell them they want to come over here and throw that D, and they miss her throwing that P. She said, yeah, both. I said, oh my God, what grandmama gonna do? She said, wait a minute, Shannon, somebody got in to throw that D contest. Which one of them won to throw that D contest? Oh God, on Hood, they got throw that D contest. I thought, because he started playing some, listen up, yeah. I thought it was just me fucking around. When y'all heard me say that shit, and you said, no, they really did. They really did. My mama wanted to throw that pee contest in Atlanta, man. And I said, he talking about throw. I said, wait a minute. So granddaddy had really heard Two Live Crew, Let's Dance. That's right. Let's dance. There's a brand new dance and it's coming your way. So you said, she said, yeah. My granddad, they did throw that D, and they were throwing that D and throwing that pee. So your mama wanted to throw that D contest. I'm like, you know what? I don't know why y'all came here with this wild ass little girl, and Nipsey standing there just going. I'm like, why are you encouraging them? Why are you bring that bad little girl? You just encouraging them, and then the granddaddy comes through and starts saying hi. But then wait a minute. But you said she said grandma scared. If you scared, go to church cause the remix hurt. Grandma said she's scared to let granddaddy come tap it out. And she said, why, Purple Onion veteran in the house. That's what I'm saying. I said, so she said granddaddy we'll help her through it. It ain't no bad thing. You said granddaddy can't even come and lay down. She said granddaddy can't even come lay down. Grandmama said she kind of nervous about stuff like that. She don't want, granddaddy to come. She said, yep, that's right. She's single. Ain't nobody throwing that D. And she ain't throwing that P. And she said she miss him too. She love him too. But she's scared to let the man come in the spirit and bless her with the Holy Ghost from the other side. And I said, but it's really beautiful. It's not a bad thing. He's not going to hurt us. What she said, Shannon, she just not. What? So you a Pisces and granddaddy was a Sagittarius? No, man. So the freaking one over here. That's so sad. And grandma Virgo, I should have. Why am I not surprised? Why, you know what I'm saying? That's sneaky and freaky. So why grandma, is she just afraid of people that have physically died to come back in the spirit? She doesn't believe that's possible, or she's never dealt with spirits. Okay. You like bless me from the other side. Absolutely. It's beautiful to have those types of relationships. So grandma never had those types of relationships. She's afraid to have those types of relationships. I wish she would at least be open to it, so we can, let her see this. It's something everyone doesn't get to experience. It's really a gift to have someone that can still feel you, hear you, sense you come around you, and you actually feel them, see them, hear them. What is you talking to me? What's my sign? I'm Sagittarius. She said, no. But did you tell her that he'd be around her? And he'll come around her? Because they don't do it to everybody. You remember Demi Moore, I think, and Patrick Swayze in Ghost is just like that. And The Sixth Sense, where the little boy said, I see dead people. And when I saw that, I thought that was the cutest thing. And I thought it was so intriguing. And I was like, I want to experience that. And when I experienced it, I said, oh, Lord, what have I asked for? To see them and hear them moving. Sometimes it gets so creepy. And then sometimes I wonder, is this really happening to me? Is this really real? And then you realize that I'm experiencing a world that we're all experiencing at all times, and we don't know because we're taught it's not real. We're taught it doesn't happen. We're taught they're going to heaven, they've gone to hell, they're not existing anymore, they don't live anymore. And the only thing that doesn't live anymore, that is temporary, is the physical self. That's not the real ID. No, my birthday was on Thanksgiving. I just had my birthday on 27th. I'm a November Sag. And when you realize it and you allow yourself to step into that world, because you're already in it anyway, you just don't know that you're in it. Yes, Ghost. I love Ghost because it is so for real. And when you're talking to someone and they can't see them, it looks like you're talking to yourself. But then they know you're not talking to yourself. When you say things, you're like, hey, this person said this, said that. Just like they popped in and I was talking to Shannon the last show. And I'm just like, wait a minute, Shannon, he said this and he said she did that. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true. And then she goes, yeah, she did. And yeah, they did throw that P and throw that D. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm not crazy. That's when you realize that you're not crazy. And it's amazing to see them live and move. And we're taught not to respect it. And we have to learn to respect it. And, yeah, I wasn't going to really get into a heavy reading tonight. I just wanted to talk about that. Some of those things that, thank you for supporting me and us learning to know ourselves, love ourselves, trust ourselves, respect ourselves. Because as I'm getting into, I have to write out what Nipsey's telling me about penis power and sperm power and what he was talking about with love. You throw that ass in a circle, like, love, what's not, what's ego, what's pain, what's pleasure. Because when you're dealing with pain and pleasure, you're in the ego, and you're dealing with the shadow self of what is real, what's not real, what is love, what's hate, what's right, what's wrong. All the lower emotions, you're dealing with the shadow self. You're dealing with the dark side of the self, the dark side of the soul, and we're not taught anything about this. And when he started to draw out, I have to draw on a piece of paper, but I can't get, of course I can't get out into that for free on the video. He started telling me things and showing me a sperm cell. I don't even want to call it a cell because it's like it was a fully developed sperm. And how they swim. They kind of look like little tadpoles to me. And they have a consciousness. And I thought about what I said, some of the things I said. And people were emailing me and they were calling me. And they were just like, when certain parts they were saying really touched them. And like when you said that the sperm has a consciousness and the sperm has a brain. And when someone sucks a man's dick and they ejaculate in their mouth, that they're actually giving them brain. They're giving them, because the chemicals of the sperm and the hormones and the puberty, the male and female puberty hormones are produced in the brain first. You can look that up. And there are articles that scientists wrote that said, I'm sure it's for both sexes, but if a woman has been pregnant with a boy and gave birth to a boy, the sperm from the boy and the man that put the sperm in her moves through her brain and her whole body and stays there until she dies. That's not just me. And I've dealt with people disrespecting me. all my life. But when I started talking about vagina power, penis power, and sperm power, people would laugh. And a lot of these people that laughed had more education than me, and they secretly knew that I was right. But they knew that I didn't know because I had not, been past high school. But I still got this knowledge intuitively. These spirits and my ancestors would teach me these things. And so I would feel very uncomfortable because they didn't want to validate and acknowledge me. But when I started to read these things and when I started talking to other people in science and higher education, then they started to tell me I was right. That it's a theorem that the sperm is actually a mini person. Thank you. And it is. It is a mini person. It is literally coming from the soul of the quantum mind. So you're literally walking around with a ghost of the person. But the thing is, the ghost moves, walks, and talks, and has its being from the God consciousness of the man that ejaculated into you. Now, you can move them, but you would literally be haunted. So if you take a lot of sperms in, prostitute or just fucking niggas, whatever, and they're there, hanging in there, then you're literally all of these souls. And then you have these fights, these contradictions, especially the spirit and the energy of one man is clashing with the other one, or they don't like you. Because a lot of women are having sex with men that are conflicted, and you don't know they're conflicted or living in contradiction on different levels of themselves, and they don't always like the woman that they're having sex with. They might like the experience of the feeling, but they like your pussy, but they don't like you. And a lot of them don't like themselves. And the sex is not always motivated by a love for the woman, really want to get to know the woman. And women feel the same way about men. It could be about something else. And you will know when the seminal fluids in the sperm and the vaginal secretions of a woman and all of the essence of her is moving through her mouth, her anal, rectal, her vaginal, her skin, you'll see those entities come through. And people are not taught that. You don't know that. And that's why you see people conflicted with each other, and then they're not cleaning themselves off. And then you're dealing with the visitors that you have during sex that you don't know they're watching. Everybody has certain ones that come through certain bloodlines, and some of them are demonic. Some of them like to create trouble. That's why a lot of women wonder why they've never been married, why their relationships don't last, why they're always alone. Because you could have had your blessing or your birth line stolen from a man that had sex with you, that does black magic, that deliberately took it off of you. Or if they didn't deliberately take it, one of the entities on them took it. And then when you break up with that man, there's no one else. And you don't know why there's such a deep depression and loneliness and the sadness. Because something was done. And when you don't know that, and a lot of times, especially when men have money, you don't know how a lot of these men get this money. A lot of them might have education, but everybody that gets an education is not always very successful at what they do. And a lot of them learn how to do black magic and how to take energy from a woman's pussy and will have sex with her and pull her birthright off of her through her pussy. And then you see them doing very well, and then you see the woman going down. Every woman that sleeps with them goes down because the entity on them pulls that off of her. They don't want her. They just slept with her when they see a certain light, a certain energy on her. They pull it off of her, and then nobody else does either, and she wonders why. We have to talk about all those things because the way Nipsey started to explain this to me and how it is in the mind of the sperm and the egg. And You said they're dedicated themselves to doing this for these negative. Yeah, and the negative forces reward them and give them what they want. And then the woman is left alone and she cannot function. And no matter how she tries, she never gets married. She never has long-term relationships. They sleep with her and they go because the entity that was left on her sucks it off and gives it to the man that pulled the birthright off of them. This is really heavy. Oh, thank you. I feel them in here because I'm like shaking. I feel so cold. I feel the entities. I know they're here. And who's it? Yeah, when I was saying that, and when Selena was saying we saw you, we saw you and Nipsey, and we want that. And I said, how many? She said it was a lot of us. And I said, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I said, she said it was many nights. I said, wait a minute. So is that why I wake up so exhausted? And she said, yes, they're ritually rewarded, Gwen, and because we don't know and we don't understand it, we wonder what happened. And I asked Selena, I said, I wake up and I feel somebody in my house, in my room. I knew somebody had come in and I didn't know. I felt like a crowded in my room. And she said, we didn't mean to. We didn't mean to drain you, but it was so much love in the room. It was just so much love. You have so much love that we just wanted some. So we were just sucking off you. I said, what? So you taking my energy? She said, we didn't mean to take it. We just wanted to taste it. We wanted to feel the warmth of it. We wanted to experience the love because we're not in the body, we're over here and we're alone. They act like we don't exist and we are cold and we're lonely. And we watched you give so much love. She just kept saying the room was full. The room was full. She's like, it was just full. It was so much love in the room. It was so much love in the room. It was so much love in the room. We felt that if we took some of it, we couldn't take all of it because you have so much. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. When I wake up, it's why are you raping me? She's like, we didn't mean to rape you. We just wanted to taste it. She's like, we just wanted to feel. It feels so good. It just feels so warm. It feels so good. And I said, I'm going to teach you how to go to your husband. So you not take my energy. She's like, we didn't mean to hurt you. We weren't trying to hurt you. We weren't trying to steal. We weren't trying to take it. We just wanted to feel it because it was so beautiful. So much love. And I said, well, wow, that scared me because I said, we think we're sleeping. We don't know when we're sleeping. We're not sleeping. So what's that mean, Gwen? We could be doing something else. We could be getting up. We could be walking around. We could be talking. And we don't know. People are watching and they're learning and they're engaging. So really, I've been like a teacher. And they've been my students. Hi, Miss Arshun. And I didn't know that they were here. And then I looked. I was disappointed because I saw more men in my room than women in my room. And they didn't touch me. They had their clothes on. Because many times when people leave here, whatever style or hairstyle or clothes they still wear them. And they were standing away from my bed. And they were just like, they were in awe. They were watching. And they were pulling off of my energy. And when Selena told me, and I think, thank you, Daphne. I said, she said, but they are just observing, they're learning. And I said, they're learning from me? They learn from us? She said, yes, because they want love. I said, I didn't know. I had no idea. They can think, they can feel, they come back over here, they start walking around. And they still want the bond, but they didn't know how to make the bond, how to make the connection. Just like when we were talking to Shannon last show and what you said, Gwen, Egg Bay are our spiritual comrades in heaven. They are like our family, our crew, our clique, our people. So you were taught about this, Gwen? With your godfather, your godmother, would they teach that they do come back. They do have either their husband or their wife or their boyfriend or their girlfriend, or they meet someone else to love. Oh, wow. And they're very conscious. So the men were here, and they said they wanted to love the one they were with, but they felt that they would be rejected. And they wanted me to tell them how to pierce the veil so they could go back to their home where they lived in the physical body with that woman. And I was like, damn, I'm disappointed, because it was, like I said, the few people that I did kind of, I was like in a trance. I got possessed and I blacked out. But when I kind of came to for maybe a couple of minutes and I blacked out, I think I saw about 8 men. And I saw maybe 2. I saw Selena, and I saw maybe 1 or 2, because some of them were hiding in my corner like they didn't want me to see that they were here. But it was, I felt more men. The men were very attentive, and they were like putting notes in their head. And this is what I want, and I didn't, this is amazing to me. I want this. And I was like, wow, the men are really, really on point here. The women, I wonder why the women, but maybe, you know what? Every soul that leaves the body. Yeah, I hadn't bothered Selena. I've been picking her up. I think if she gets a glitch, she'll come back to me. And, you know, I still have her love sage here. And I'm not using it for anybody but her. And I made some other lover sages. And I made this, I'm waiting for my other oil for Nipsey gave me to make this erotic cream for the winter. It's getting cold. Like, and I was saying, he gave me the creams, and I put the cream on my hair to soften my hair. And for women that have body hair, or on your pussy, intimate hair, if you want it there, even if you cut it low. Some women are bald, some men like it bald. But even if you shave it and you cut it or you trim it, or you just keep it a little bit long, I have a very sensual lovers, like a cream, like a buttercream, and it has the lovers oils in it. And you can massage your coochie. Am I right? Coochie. You know what? Better yet, let your man do it. Let your lover do it. Because it's very erotic oils, and it's attraction oils in it. And I said, you know what? That'll be even better than just the oil, because the people that got it from me before, I told them put just a little bit in your perfume oil of your choice and put a little on the pressure points. A little goes a lot of ways. You don't want to be too strong. But then I made one. Nipsey gave me a stronger recipe that also has the pheromones, and I like the deer pheromones. Like the musk is very strong. I love deep, rich, dark musk oils, and I put my pheromones in there. And I have the ones for couples, to bond the couples, men to attract women, women to attract men. And I put that on, and those pheromones, as well as the sensual oils, the lovers oils, are in the cream. He said, we have a spiritual family in the heavens. Some of us have a husband and a wife. They watch over us and protect us. They can be jealous and envious. Yes, they can, and they'll break you up. Just like if you're married to a particular Orisha, the lowest. And in certain days, I've met people that are married to them, and they can't have sex with their wife on that day or their husband on that day. Their spirit will be very jealous. And so I'm like, oh boy, I don't think I want to go there then, because they're very demanding. They will fuck your shit up if you don't do what they want, or if you talk to somebody, deal with somebody they don't want you dealing with. And okay, they will do that for Philanda. Y'all better leave me alone by neighborhood, okay? Because the other spirits come over here and they like the class. Turning, didn't I tell you, came from California to the dirty South, took my house, and trapped it out. And I already trapped it out. Not turning, turn. Okay? Turn. Got a nigga blue candles every day, food and shit. Blue set, you know what I'm saying? Neighborhood. And I started realizing that in the men, I loved it because the men that have physically lost their bodies are still very, very sharp, very technical. Like, I want to learn the science because we didn't know that this was possible. So this one, if you're saying, were you talking about the cream the other day for your hair? Then you said your body hair, and so I'm sure the women want that for the body hair because it's getting cold. A lot of women it's getting dry, and you don't want your skin dry. It's the perfect time to exfoliate, to even out the skin. You probably have someone to keep you warm. These are the luscious times. A lot of people get pregnant, and even if you don't, you still want to do that for yourself. And then the oils get warm, and you want things to deal with circulation and blood flow, and exfoliate the skin and wrap the skin. I know, and you wonder how the two and me are fighting for him. And he was saying it. I said, I will tell them and see if they want it, because I am definitely going to make me some. I'm making it now. I'm going to rub it on myself. And just like I put it on my hair and on my skin and the beauty creams he gave me, it just sounds quite delicious. And especially if you want certain energies to come around you. You want certain fragrances, certain scents, certain thoughts, certain attitudes, certain moods, certain prayers that you say, depending on the vibration of the entity and the spirit, and certain colored candles. I mean, it's basically, from what MC told me, it's a whole ritual. Like what I'm talking about to you and what I do, it is a way of life. This is the way I live every day. I enjoy it. Every day I get up and the spiritual part rules my life. I don't just do this on some days. It's every day. And to me, that's the only way you become the best at what you do, and you deal with your issues and your pain, and you elevate yourself spiritually. You don't pick what days, even when you don't feel like it, even when I don't want to do it, even when I'm tired. You do it every day. Even if you don't want to do it as much, you still do some practice every day, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's exercise on the body, exercise on the mind, prayer, meditation, rituals, a particular field of study, a little bit of changes in the diet. It doesn't have to be completely a wild change at one time, just little bits in a day. A little bit of weeding out certain negative people, a little bit of weeding out gossip, a little bit of weeding out negative talk. Gradually do it at your pace, but you must practice elevating and enlightening yourself to become more of what you were, or closer to what you were when you were born. Get closer to that as you get ready to physically die. And so it's very easy to ascend and to resurrect, to wake up the consciousness, so you won't be lost and trapped. And just like when I said with Snipsey and a few other people, I've never seen someone, bam, lose the body with so much shock and force and trauma. Quickly get up, understand what happened, know what happened, know what to do. I've got to find someone to talk to. Because tell me what they call it, Gwen. What they were telling me, with each person, there are angels, there are guardians, there are psychics, there are mediums that are assigned to each person. So that if you're aware, when you physically die, there's a group, there's a list of people that you, or do you know what I'm talking about, Gwen, or is it called something else? There are a group of people that you can go to that will hear you, that can see you, that can write your messages, pass your messages, speak your messages. I didn't know that you actually have, everyone has guardians and angels and people in bodies if something were to happen to you. That they'll tell you how to get to them. Is this address in this state? You got one here, you got two in New York, you got one in New Orleans, and if you're not happy with this one, you can go to that one. If you want to, you can go to all of them at the same time. And what you say, Egungun priest, deal specifically with ancestors here. Egungun priest, Charlie, I don't know what the hell. I guess it's just in my blood, because I've never been initiated into any spiritual science system. It just happened, I was doing this as a kid, a baby, seeing these things. and I saw him coming in here. And when Nipsey first came in, he just walked into my bedroom, and he says, "Good morning, Alexyss." He just knew that I could see him and I could hear him. I'm like, "Good morning," and I'm saying, "What the fuck? How did you know my name? How'd you know my address and shit?" Here in LA as well, I'll be honest. Yeah. And he just comfortably, he's like, "Yeah, I was walking around, I was waiting downstairs because, I knew that you were sleeping. I know when I come back, and, I knew I woke you up early the first time. I'm sorry. I know, so I did it at 7. This time I knew I measured the timing of when the sun was rising down here in the south. So I felt it. I was sitting on your sofa in your living room that's right below your bed in your bedroom. I know where your head is. I'm listening. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? And he says, yeah. So I was coming up your steps. He said, I was coming up at the same time the sun was rising. And I know that the window, you got that particular window right there. And I know the sun, when it gets at this particular angle, it comes through and it hits your face. So as the sun was rising and hit your face, I decided that I would wake you because I knew that you had a late night. And I'm just like, huh? what? So I'm just like trying to hold it in. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, yeah, and yeah, I know you by yourself. I'm like, okay, all right. You know my business. It's like, yeah, I've been hanging out about 3 days. I've been stuck. Okay. I didn't know they did shit like that. I didn't know that they knew your address. They know what kind of car you drive. They know your tag number. They know the ones that are really like sharp and like mentally, emotionally astute. And I said, he must have been like that in his body. Very nosy, very intuitive, like secretly go study motherfuckers. What you say, Gwen? That's nice, cause some don't give a fuck. LOL. They will blow the whistle, like get your ass up. Really? I haven't had a lot of them do that to me. Like when Michael Jackson came, he was a gentleman, and he was very quiet. He tiptoed. He walked very soft to the point that if you can't hear very well, intuitively, I wouldn't have known Michael was here. And then Michael was playing tricks on me. He had like different bunny rabbit costumes and shit on, and I thought he was so soft because he's a dancer. He's so light that I wouldn't have known. And I said, Michael, and he played little tricks, and I knew it was him. And so when he came in, he was very elegant. He was very graceful. He has a different energy than Nipsey. And who else? Yeah, my father's not like that. He's very strong and intense, but he doesn't do that. When all the spirits come in here, and when the ladies come, the ladies are different than the men. They always have a male escort. Like Nipsey brought in the 2 ladies, and they were very, very polite and gentle, but they would always say, introduce me. And I'm Southern, so I like the same thing. Introduce me. If you know someone I don't know, I'm not just going to go over there and say, hey, such no, you go with me, you introduce me to make sure that the person's comfortable and they're relaxed, they trust me being there. That's what the women would do, unless I would ask them. But usually the men, they're comfortable. I didn't know. They will scope you out. They will see what's going on, and is it going to be a problem? Does this woman have a man that doesn't like her having this ability, and are they going to make her shut us off or put us out or say on certain days we can talk, certain days we can't? They know. So they'll pick, I think, someone that they know if they've really got a lot on their mind and they really want to talk. You said, Gwen, yes, if they move the same way in the spirit realm as they did when they were in the physical realm and in their physical body. Yeah, because I didn't know him. So when I started doing Nipsey's reading, I did the first reading, I told that and how he came up and said, I'm going to watch. And hey, I was downstairs and I was walking around your house and I was looking, I was checking your locks and I was making sure nobody could come in. And I'm just like, I thought this guy was a mean guy and a gangster. This guy's A gentleman, you're downstairs, you're walking around, you're checking my locks? What the fuck? I'm like, hey, does this guy like this? Because I don't know. So I'm saying this stuff, and nobody's saying anything, and I said, oh, they probably think I'm crazy. He said, yeah, I've been hanging out, and I looked outside, and then I walk outside, and then I go in the back, and I hung out there, and I walked around, and I'm making sure that nobody's breaking in on you, and no man's coming in here. I'm saying I gotta say this in a reading, because if somebody hears this that know him, they could tell me if this man is like this, or if he's just like a gangster and mean and crazy. Because he was like, I want to make sure you are okay before you woke up while you were sleeping, and before I talk to you. And I was just like, thank you. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a Leo. I didn't know that Leos were compatible with Sagittarius, but he clearly knew me, my business, and I didn't know him. And then he said he had seen my show. And I'm like, well, why the fuck didn't you say something? Because maybe we wouldn't be talking like this. You know? It's like, yeah, I checked this, I checked that. You okay? Nobody's around. And so I want to talk, and I'm just like, wow. Wow, okay. I know. He was like so sweet. He was very strong. But he was very, very sure of himself. He was very secure of himself. And he was like, this is what I want. And I need you to pass this message for me. And this is the first message I need you to pass. And this is the person. I was like, wow. I've never dealt with anyone like this. Okay. I didn't know they could do that. Just like in the movie. When you see Ghost, when you see how Bruce Willis was coming in and out of the house every day, and I didn't really quite get it back then, but I do now, and I see how that happens. Remember when it got to the end, he found out he was not physically alive. The whole time he was going to work every day and having his briefcase and eating, and he wondered why his wife said it was cold. He didn't know that his wife, he wasn't touching her. His physical body was dead. He didn't know. Sometimes they don't know. Nipsey knew. Well, Nipsey looks the same. Everybody looks the same. If they like their body and they can hold the template, the energy template of the body, depending on the elevation of the person, or if you can help them. I'm probably going to get into some of that, because someone had told me, oh, well, you know, they have only a certain amount of time to hold the template, the astral body, and then it starts to dissolve and you can't see them. It doesn't exist. It breaks down at a certain amount of time. Well, that's not true. That's not always true. Sometimes it may, just like you can see someone's physical body, and then like on television, it turns staticky and it's jittery, and then it's like on the Matrix, and then they come back and you see them whole again. Sometimes they'll do that because there's more than one body. It's basically energy anyway. But when you come to the third dimension, it's very heavy and it's very dense, so you need a heavier body for people to ID you and see you. It's basically a spell that you're under to be in a temporary flesh body that rots. It's a curse to put on it so it doesn't continue to live forever like it's supposed to, like they're talking about in the Bible with Melchizedek. So if they like that body, the physical one, even if it's torn up through guns or stabbing or a bad accident or decapitated or something, that body will be mangled. But then the body, because there's a different, like one time, or more than one time, it looks like the Love Boat. And I talked to another psychic medium that talks to Nipsey. She knew the boat. I said, that's the boat. She knew what I was talking about because she had been there. I just knew that one time, like last year when it had just happened to him, it wasn't even a month or so, I was going to do the one reading, And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do the one, I'm gonna do 2 readings, okay, and then I'll be through, and I'll send you on your way. And he's like, okay, just do the one, do the 2 readings for me. And then he came back, and we were talking, and I'd be waking up. He's like, good morning. And he would come in, and I would like be washing up and plait my hair, put my scarf on. I start washing, folding my clothes, folding my sheets. As I'm folding them, he's sitting there talking to me, and I'm like, wow, he must have been raised up around older people, because he's so comfortable with me and he's so respectful to me. And then I was like, don't bring your young ass in here no more. Don't bring your cute young ass in here no more. Now, I done read you 1 or 2 times. Don't bring your ass back in here no more with your cute self. I don't want you to come back in here. And then he smiled. Okay, I said, I'm not playing. Don't come back in here. And so he said, okay, I ain't gonna come back. And then I said, now you know now, you too young, you keep coming here playing with me. Keep your young ass out of here. I'm tired. Don't bring your young ass in here no more with your pretty self. Get your ass up out of here. Now I'm going to read this one more damn letter. Don't bring your motherfucker ass back in here no more now. You know you... He'll laugh. He said, oh, okay. Oh, all right then. And then I'd be looking at him like this. And then while he looking at me, I said, come back in here. And then when he turned away, I said... Then he looked back. Okay, I'm not meaning it. Don't bring your ass back in here. Get your young ass up out of here playing with me. And then he's, okay, come back. Come back. So he comes after we agreed you are not coming back. I'm doing your reading. You keep your young ass up out of here. But your curiosity killed the cat. Keep your ass up out of here now. Before I put my hands on you. Don't come back up in here. He said, all right, then I ain't gonna come back. Just smiling and stuff, hair hanging down. And then late over in the morning, he came and he said, oh. I said, I felt him. I said, what is it? What is it? And his, like around his back and his side and his leg, it looked like red and green and blue energy shooting out of the holes. All these holes. I'm like, oh my God, all these holes. How many times was you shot? It couldn't have been 5 or 6 because it was leaking everywhere. And he was, usually come stand and he said good morning. He's smiling. He couldn't. He was leaning against my door. I said, oh God, I told him not to. I said, I can't do that. I jumped up and I said, no, come here. It's like he was staring. He says, I can't stand up. I said, lay down. I'm going to teach you. And then I said, I taught him how to do the energy. I started to go through exercise, and he understood. He could hear me. Because I'm like, I got to help you seal because your other body's leaking. Because the physical body is still open, even though they had embalmed the body and buried the body. I said, no. This is, I didn't know. I started learning the other bodies were still, they all fracture. So it was like these doctors. You have these doctors on the higher realm that do surgery on them. They do psychic surgery, mental and emotional psychic surgery, and they're doctors of different races because I saw some white ones and I saw some Asian doctors. They were waiting on him. They knew that the higher body had to be repaired if he still wanted to stay here and get justice and do work here, to keep the body intact for Londa. So that's, I just answer you to tell you that. And I went, and when I saw this, it looked like the Love Boat. That's the only way I can describe it. Like it was a floating hotel. I never seen it. Anything like this before. It had all these floors, and on the floors, it had like carpet, but it was flat. And it had all these rooms, but all the doors were closed. Everything was white, just like that scene on The Matrix. When you walk down that hall, and it's all with the key maker, and they got to try to get the key maker, and they run down the hall real fast, and all them doors are closed right there. He said, would you go with me? I said, yes, I'll go with you. And we went, and the doctor was waiting, and they had the nurse in there. They had the IV bag up there with the tube in it to put it in his vein. And they said I could stay, and so I stayed, and they had to, like, his bowel was torn, his abdomen was torn, the side was torn, his back, spine, and tailbone, like all this stuff at the middle body and back was torn. And he was dying on that level too, because he had so many holes. The energy was shooting out the different colors, which are like the different colors of your 7 chakras. But then you got other sets, and you got bigger, and which I'll get into when we're teaching, because he was teaching me about it. Let me see. And so they sedated him. And when they sedated him, and it was other people up there too, they had been physically killed around the same time he was. So they were getting the treatments too, and they lived there. They can live there if they want to. And if they don't want to live there, they can come back and forth and live back and forth. When you're saying, and the Oscar goes to, where are you trying to be funny? When you said the Oscar goes to, who was that? Lakira Cobb? Is this funny to you? Because I'm wondering if you're joking, like, why are you here? If you think this is a joke, and you think I'm just making up shit to entertain, why are you here? Fucking bitch. When it was other people up there, but they have like the privacy for them. You don't, like, they don't let people in if you don't want people in there. It was in the auras. The aura has different colors, but the chakras also have the different colors. Like, look at your 7 main chakras. You can look this up on Google. You can get the books, and you can look on YouTube about the chakras and the auric fields, and they all have a color. The chakras go way up into infinity, and they go way down into infinity. And then the aura goes like 5 feet, 10 feet out, but it also goes way out into infinity. So when people get damaged in the physical, you're basically tearing through the energy field of the tissues. So you think it's just the flesh and it's dead and it leaks out and the arteries are cut, the veins are cut, and the life is over. No, it bleeds into the other bodies of the person. So he said, this is so real, but Kara, so if you don't agree with it or if you don't like it, what do you hear? I know, I just blocked them. Just stupid. That's why people are so bound up and blocked now, because of people like her. You know, and everyone is not going to ascend because everyone doesn't have that ability. Hey, El. So those are people, I don't expect everybody to get it, but you're not going to come over here and disrespect me because you're too ignorant and your mind is too dense and low to get it. You're not going to fuck up my page and my fucking show, okay? So they started to repair the energy parts, the higher self that never dies. But that body, if you don't reattach and reconnect the energy body, it's like even though a lot of people can't see it, it's like a mesh. It's thin, but it's very, very, almost like a stocking, like a lycra. So you want to put it back together, or the person, like, what they say, a ghost or a orb or a light or a cold breeze. That's why you can't see them or what it is, or it might be on a higher level of a manifestation. It might not be a human, because the essence is so low and it's been pulled and pulled and pulled and dissipated to the point that, like, the person, the matrix of the person that you can see, feel, touch, has like been evaporated from that particular atmosphere, from that particular energy field. But at any time, depending on the will of the person and the energy of the person and whatever energy is being given to them, they can reanimate it. So when it happened to him and I could see him, basically my father, he still looks the same. His energy field is still intact because so many people love him. So many people talk about him. So many people listen to him. So many people play his music. That if they still want to be here, they walk back and forth. And my father's intact. The body's intact. The clothes intact. They change clothes. They change shoes. They comb their hair. Yeah. They go to certain people's houses. They go to certain clubs. They have certain drinks. But instead of having to sit and manually eat the food, they can actually pull the energy. They learn, just like with Patrick Swayze, learned the energy, learned how to turn the lights on, learned how to turn the lights off, knew how to move objects when at first he couldn't. And the mean spirit, like the soul of the man was very angry. He was on the train and told him to get off the train. He knew how to move things on the train. You can shape shift and you can still be the same person. So he was like asleep, like getting his surgery, and I didn't tell anybody. And then when the other medium that spoke to Nipsey, and she started talking, I said, oh, I know where you're talking about. I know where you're talking about. The boat looks like the Love Boat. And she said, yeah, you saw it? I said, yeah, I went there with Nipsey. When they were putting him back together, she said, yes, that's where they go and they get repaired. They get a new body. They get it. Whatever the body was damaged on the physical is damaged on the spiritual, and they put the body back together. And some of them, she said, like with Tupac, she said, okay, she said with 50 Cent, he was shot a whole bunch of times. They put him back together and they let him come back. She said with Tupac, he was shot. They put him back together. They did the psychic surgery on him and they let him come back. But then he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He got back in trouble again and they shot him up again. And he says, yes, they observed the energy of the foot. Yeah. Said then they didn't let Tupac, she was saying, that's why they didn't let Tupac come back again. Because they gave him another chance and he kept, being violent and getting into things and losing his temper, and got shot again, and so they wouldn't repair the body the second time. And I'm like, but that's not fair. Like, why is it with Nipsey he didn't get shot before and then get put back together and then get shot again? He had never been shot and damaged like that. She said sometimes it's like their karma, or they've been here before. Yep, absorb the energy. Yeah, you're right. They know how to direct it and pull the energy out and sustain that body, and so you can still see that body. So she said that he had been through this with the same people before. He had been here before, and sometimes it's lessons that you go through and you learn, and you have a whole nother family from where you came from, but you come here and you don't remember that you had another family before and that you've been here before, and you come and learn a lesson again, and then the same people do it to you again because you don't remember that they did it to you the first time, which caused you to lose the last body and to be reborn and reincarnate again. Girl, I don't know. Hey, Shara, thank you. So I'm just like, wow. So it's just like a council that decides if you get to come back or not, or girl, it's so confusing. I'm still learning. Like, why good people get shot up and they don't get to come back, and then bad people get shot up 2 or 3 times, and like they have 9 lives and they get to come back. Or maybe you can come back after you learn some lessons and you ascend on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level, and you realize it is your choice if you want to come back and have those experiences. So yeah, the council is always watching. And then I learned that there is more than one earth. There's like Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3. And there are different dimensions and different gods. There are different gods over the different earths. But some of the earths, like the other earth, may be better than this one, or not as demonic as this one. Ah, God, it's like you said, correct, Gwen. Exactly how we in our physical body does the same with food. The mitochondria cell powerhouse of our cell uses the energy of food to feed every cell in our physical body. Yeah, it's now you become more like God, more of the way that you were designed, like the higher parts of you, it's energy. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. You don't have to take pills. You don't have to take supplements or eat a lot of food, solid food, and have your body break it down. When your vibration is higher and you're functioning in the God mind and the geometric prisms of the cell, everything moves through there is energy. All the subatomic particles of energy, which contain all the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients, everything, even in the periodic table. You go on that level of living, it's like you're like a crystal. You're in the crystal light body, and you function in the crystal light body. You can activate that body right now. Like when you're dealing with certain megahertz, when you're dealing with certain frequencies on meditation, regenerating the DNA, healing the body, and you chant different chants and different tones and different frequencies, the body on the higher self, based on the geometric shapes inside of the body and cells, like they have the God codes inside of them, they will start to activate and vibrate based on the frequency and the megahertz that you're listening to. Whatever that number is, like what they were saying with the Nikola Tesla with the 369, that frequency and the frequency of the earth. Okay, share a prophet, the crystalline light body. Many of us are getting the DNA upgrade now. Yeah, you can give yourself permission. You can do the work every day. You can do the meditation. If it doesn't naturally happen, you can call your guides in, your ancestors, your angels to start turning it on. So a lot of the people that are physically dying, that still want to come here and move around and talk and have unfinished business, activate that. So when you see them, it's like at first when I saw him, he was leaking all of the energy. Then, yep, alpha, beta, delta, theta, when they prepared him and put the energy together, and then he was doing the energy work here and we're doing the breath work, his body started to repair itself on its own. So when I see him now, he's walking like really fast. He's talking, everything's clear. He's not leaking. And I'm just like, oh, so the 528 hertz, Ricky, is the love healing frequency. That will heal a lot of things. And remember, he was saying that's one of his issues with not feeling loved, not feeling wanted, not having any value, and having self-love and value and elevating beyond physical things and ego and lack and limits. So that's what we worked on. Oh, good, Tracy. Yeah, start working on those and listening to those and chants, raising those. So let's say you have an ancestor altar and you have certain ancestors and you know what they physically died from. And you give them food, you put the colors of their candles, whatever pictures, whatever smokes, whatever drinks, everything that they like, and you turn the music on that they like. Also, find the frequency that is associated with their pain and their energy. I mean, well, you can see the frequencies on YouTube, but some of the things that I'm saying, I didn't get them from a book. I learned them on my own. My spirits teach me, and then when the spirits come in here where these things have happened to, like with Nipsey, then he tells me, and then he'll say, take me, let me let you see this, let me let you see that. And that's when I started finding out that they have like a hospital, like a place that they go to where they get repaired. Which say, Nikki, I was once told something was put on my ancestors and this curse on my mom. Well, we all have those. And if anything's put on you, it can also be taken off. If any spell's been cast, then any spell can be broken. So you have to decide how you're going to break that or when you're going to break that, because it's possible to break that. But if you know that someone's committed suicide, because it's basically up to you, even if someone puts a spell out like that, if you decide you're going to be weak enough to give into that spirit, if that's the issue, one thing I do know, anybody that's committed suicide is never at peace. They're stuck, and they have to work through why they committed suicide. Because a lady came to me for a reading like a week ago, and she wanted me to do a reading on a young man that they think committed suicide. But when I talked to him, he was saying it was an accident. And so I was looking, and I said, "Are you sure?" I want to be, "Are you sure?" And he was drinking, and he said, "I didn't deliberately take too much alcohol to kill myself. It was an accident. They said he died from, the doctor said it was alcohol poisoning. Like he just deliberately overdrank." And I saw it was a spirit put on him from like one side of his family. And he was suffering from deep depression and self-hatred. And I heard the voices talking to him, telling him to do it. But let me tell you what will also happen if you're not careful. If someone put a suicide spirit on a person or a depression spirit on a person, and it follows them around, and it makes them indulge in self-hating activities, self-destructive activities, alcohol, pills, and things like that. And the person may get a little drunk or drunk, but not so drunk that they pass out and they suffer from alcohol poisoning, like an overdose when they pass out. Once you open the door, like there are certain demons that are over drugs and alcohol, like pharmakia. What they will do, they will then pick someone who is just as susceptible or more susceptible than the person, to then come around the person, put themselves in the person's life that like to do the same thing, get high and get drunk, and encourage the person to drink. That demon would jump on the other person. And from what he was saying to me, he was doing some drinking, but there was a pill. He might have popped a pill, and something was wrong with the pill. He might not have even really consciously ingested it, like indirectly the person gave it to him. And the pill and the alcohol didn't mix because there was someone with him. And the person that was with him claimed, said that he OD'd on the alcohol or took much of the alcohol and passed out. But I'm saying, no. That's not what happened. There was someone there, and I see more than one person that was there, that kind of put something in the drink. And then they blamed it on this young man who was already suffering from depression and paranoia and had thoughts of self-murder. When the more I looked at and talked to him, the other entity came out and started to talk. Like they'll come out and let you see them. Oh gosh, here we go, losing. How much time I have? What time is it? They will commit this murder, or they will make a person. Hold on, put this in here. They make the person do this to themselves. So I'm okay. So a little time on one stay too. I don't mean to do this. I was just talking generally and thanking you for supporting me, being here and just going a little bit into the things that I was going to write about and talk about. I didn't really go this far into it, talking about some of the things I saw, what it was like on that side. I'm honored when people come to me, but so in a way, like I say, it wasn't like direct suicide. It was kind of indirect. God, I don't know. Do I want to call it suicide? But I kind of, in a way, it is suicide because he was drinking and didn't have self-discipline and self-respect to say, no, I'm not going to do this to myself, and opened himself up for people to poison him. So the other entities crept in, and whatever was in that pill, it might have been kind of indirectly an accident, but at the same time, he opened himself up for the murder because he was constantly drinking with the people that really weren't his friends and didn't care about him. So because it was kind of like a suicide, like where you don't care and you don't have any morals and no self-respect, and you're just doing this, and you already know you have a weakness in this area, you know you have a lot of self-hatred and you don't like yourself, he stuck. And he was saying, fuck, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm doing. I had to get out of here. How am I going to get out of here? He was stuck in one spot. And I said, okay. What happened? That's when he started to tell me. And he's like, what am I going to do? I don't want to be here. I didn't mean to do this happen. I don't want to be dead. I don't want to be here. He knew what happened. But I couldn't get him out because the only way I could get him out, it was just like what I was saying with Nipsey and a couple of the spirits that came here. You'd have to be willing to do it. You'd have to want to do it and listen to what I'm saying to you, and you'd have to want to do the work. You have to, like when he would come say, help me, I'm leaking. I said, okay, let me show you. And we're going to walk there. He's like, okay. And he moved through it, and he's like, oh, okay, I got to go to the ship. I got to get the surgery. I'm like, okay, I'll go with you. This young man was so in shock and so terrified and didn't know what to do, and he was freaking out because he said, I don't know. I know what happened, but I don't want to be here. Help me get out of here. Fuck, get out of here. I want to get out of here. But you're just like stuck, and I'm trying to say, okay. Calm down. It's going to be okay. Even King Von didn't act like that. When it happened to King Von, it was like, okay, I ain't know what happened. He was very clear about what happened. Like, it's like him and Nipsey knew that it was going to happen to them. Like, they could kind of feel it was going to happen to them. So they calmly got up. Those two were very cool. But then again, those two were Leos. So I don't know. They're very aggressive. They were alpha Leos. So I don't know what the young man is that I just saw like a couple of days ago. He was freaking out and not in his power. Very, very insecure, very unstable. So when I'm trying to give him directions, and I was going to try to show him what happened and show him, okay, now this is, well, we're going to do this exercise, and I'm going to show you, well, I already did the reading on Kobe earlier this year, and Kobe was freaking out and cursing everybody out. But when I was talking to this young man, he was just like, I don't, what, no, fuck it. And I was just like, oh, shit, how am I going to help you? You won't listen to me. You don't understand. And I knew he didn't know anything about energy. He didn't know about chakras. He didn't know about auric fields. I'm trying to wait for him to calm down. I'm trying to explain to him and walk through the exercise because his was a little different. He didn't have any gunshots. He didn't have any stabs. It was literally like alcohol poisoning. He passes out and he dies. But the result's still the same. He physically dies. So then he gets up and he's still in the same place. He's still in the same room. Even though his body's been moved, he's still in the same room where it happened to him. Oh, boy. So I'm just like, So I contacted the person that asked me to do the reading, and I said, do you know anything about this? And I told them what I saw and what happened. They didn't talk to me. They didn't get back to me, but they knew that this is what had happened. And somebody that was there was trying to say he did it to himself. And I was like, no, that's not completely true. Was there a female? They're like, yeah, it was. I said, she knows what happened. She's not telling everything what happened. And I think they kind of left him there. So he was struggling because, and then nobody was there. I saw one of his relatives, but he wasn't listening to the because he was screaming and he was freaking out so bad that I couldn't say, okay, sit here. Okay, we're going to go through this breathing. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get out. That's literally when everybody comes here. I can talk to them and I can give them, we really we go through a different class. We go through a different workshop depending on, it's not just Nipsey, depending on what the spirit wants to do, what the soul wants to do, what the lesson is, and how advanced, how open, how spiritual, how aware they are. But since the lady, the one that paid me to do the reading, she wanted to do a mini read, so she didn't want to do a longer one. So because I have so much other work to do, I'm constantly doing work for Nipsey and other people that will pay me to do longer readings that I still have to get to, by the way. People are still waiting for me to get to those, so I appreciate everybody waiting for me to get to those. And he wouldn't listen to me. It would take a lot of time for me to calm him down. It wasn't that he didn't want to listen to me as a person. That wasn't it. It was just he was so scared and he was in shock. And he kept saying, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this to happen. I want to get back in my body. How do I get back? How do I get back? I was like, we can't get you back to that one. Because I don't know if they had just embalmed it or I don't know if they had cremated it. So I said, you don't know, do you? He didn't know that it was gone. He didn't know it had been picked up. He didn't know that it was in the morgue. He didn't know that it had been, I don't know if they autopsied it, but he didn't know that it had been, embalmed, and he had funeral and possibly cremated. And I tried to say it, but I didn't say it all because I was freaking out so bad. And I didn't want to make it worse. And he didn't, and there's another thing people think. They have a guardian angel and a guide. Everybody doesn't, because I was looking for the one to say, hey, can you help me out here? Because I can't stay for this one because they're not asking me to stay. It's like, what is it? It's called soul retrieval. And you can look this up. You probably can find some people talking about they do soul retrieval on YouTube. There are books on soul retrieval. You literally have to retrieve the person. You have to call the soul of the person back. I didn't have any time to do it because it's really not my case. They didn't say take on this and do what you have to do and find out more. What you need to find out, I couldn't do it. So when I saw it, my mind, I was shocked. And then I tried to talk to him. He's young. He's like 20. He didn't know anything about the spirits. They didn't prepare him for that. He had been through a lot of kind of maybe abuse, neglect, like I had. And he hadn't worked on evolving. He was lost. So he'd be with the wrong crowd drinking and partying. So this happened, and he's like, I didn't know. Help me. What do I do? What do I do? How to get out? Yeah, you can look at soul retrieval because when somebody retrieves a soul, they're going to do similar to what I was doing with Nipsey and my brother and other people when they want it and they say, help me. And they're open to it. And it's just like a person, once they get out of the body and they say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, is over. No, it's not. The person then has to go through counseling. They're suffering from PTSD, and then they have to work through what happened to me. And the hurt and the pain and the lies and the betrayal of what happened to them. Most people don't know that because they don't get to see them or hear them. So they walk around and they're not ready to leave here, and they have to find the who, what, when, where, why, and find the truth and understand it. And they feel very isolated and very alone and very violated and very betrayed. So, like, over the past year, I've listened to Nipsey. And I wrote down everything he said and his thoughts and his feelings. And I sit up with him and I talk to him. And I'm just like, whoa, boy, this is some heavy shit. When people get physically killed, the person's not dead, and they still have hurt and pain and trauma, and they need therapy and psychological counseling and treatment. I had no idea that this goes this deep, because they're still alive. They're still a person. They still can't deal with that shit. They be trying to process. They need somebody to help them. And a lot of times people don't give a fuck about them no more, because they're not in a body and they can't do nothing for them, and they can't make it rain on them, and they can't fuck them and get them food and take them out and buy them shit and use them and shit. So they don't care. Yeah, Sharon, they need therapy. People don't care. And it's not that just they don't care, they can't see. They don't have the gift. They don't have the ability of the person to say, sit down, look, I gotta talk to you about some shit that I'm going through. It's a whole another world. It's a whole, but yet it's the same world that we're not taught to exist, but everybody can't see it anyway. And these people have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of pain, a wealth of life lessons, or so many questions. They cannot ascend. They cannot move from here to the next phase until many of them understand and know what happened to them, why it happened to them, and what lessons do they need to learn. And that's when people are like, well, do this reading on that person, do that reading. Oh, this person got shot. Oh, this person just died. Oh, another. And I'm like, I can't. Get someone else to do it. Because what I notice is a lot of readers that I see, they do the readings and they just do it so easy. And I'm just like, worn the fuck out. Because when they come to me, it's different. When they do it with me, it's heavy. I feel their hurt, their pain, their trauma, their gunshots, their stabs, their drunkenness, their passing out, their heart attack. I feel it all. I see it all. I hear it all. And they sit 4 days. And many times they're walking around and they stay. I'm with them the whole day for hours. I'm with them the night for hours. And I will let them stay. And I'm just writing and I'm listening because I want to learn. I want to know. It's fascinating. People are like, why don't you tell them to leave? No. I know how to tell them to leave. I don't want them to leave because they teach me. This is so fascinating to me. So even if I'm tired, I'm like, oh, I can just take a nap tomorrow. I want to hear this. They want to tell me. You say, when exactly we will continue to stay where we are or return. Yes, we learn the lessons and complete the mission. And I'm so glad you all are open to this, and many of you understand this. Many of you have some of these abilities. That's why I'd rather people, just like the stupid bitch that was over here, saying, oh, and the award goes to, I definitely pray that a bitch like that is not around me if I die around a bitch like that. I pray that somebody gets to me immediately, because you'll be fucking with ignorant, stupid motherfuckers like that, who don't believe this exists, because one day this bitch is going to die too. Oh. And what the fuck is she going to do? Fucking idiot ass motherfucker. These people just don't want to believe it's going to happen to them. It's going to happen to everybody but me. Or if it happens to someone around them, they don't know what the fuck to do. And these people are standing there and moving around. And they're some of the most educated people on the planet. Because one thing I can guarantee you, one day that will be you, bitch. Stupid ass bitch. One day it will be you. You will give up the ghost, hoe. You will leave the body. No matter what fucking jokes you crack. I don't know anybody yet that could tell me how they got out this motherfucker alive. And all the ones that have sense will find someone to help them see their way through. Because nobody has all the answers. And to everybody, no matter what you know, when you're in the body and what you think you know, there still may be some spiritual work and attention that you need when you physically get out of that body. Depending on how the fuck you get out of it. Is you knocked out? Is you smashed out? Is you shot out? Is you stabbed the fuck out? You don't know. Unless you're very sure that you can control that decision. Unless you're going to do a suicide mission. Like in some states it's allowed to get an IV and you fucking check out. So I don't disrespect. I take it very seriously. Life and death. And when people physically leave the body, because I've seen it. It's my whole life. This is all I do. This is all I want to do. So it's a lot of things and it's a lot of people that I used to fuck with that I don't talk to anymore. Because they're too fucking stupid and ignorant. Even if they got education and money, they still fucking stupid and ignorant. And they think that's going to protect them from death. That happened to them. That's not going to happen to me. Or I don't want to talk about that now. One day you will. Or one day you'll wish that you did. So dumb shit and dumb motherfuckers, I don't let them be around me. This is my everyday life. Because I still feel like there's so much I don't know. And I'm a late bloomer at this. And I remember times where my grandmother would say, hey, such and such, they got them in hospice and they don't know. They might be leaving today. I need you to go to this nursing home. And I would drive like way out in the country, way across town for free. It was so fascinating. I just want to learn. I want to do it for free. Go to the hospital. We don't know if this person's going to make it out of surgery. And I would sit there and I would see the most amazing things that everybody couldn't see. And I would see the visitors. And I had my paper and pen. I would draw what I see and all the geometric prisms that I would see and all the ancestors ascending and descending and coming, talking to the person. When you hear someone and you think they're sedated, they're coming in and out, and they're talking to someone and you're like, nobody's there. They're talking. And they call someone's name and you like, no, ma, no, grandma, such and such been dead 50 years or such and such died 2 years. No. They see the person. The person, there are different ones that will come and stand by the bed of the person. Or be where they know. Yes, the Merkabah would see some with the wheel, and the wheel they would come down. Like it will go up, go down, go down, go up. And they sit there and they say, hi, I'm such and such. And the person say, I know you, that's grandma, that's granddaddy, that's my daddy. And they say, are you ready? And I was watching this lady. And she said to them, I'm not ready right now because I'm waiting on someone. And I sat and they let me go in and they asked, was it okay if I sat there? And she said I could sit there even though I never met her before. She said she could sit. And I sat at the bottom of her bed and I was watching. I said, oh my, it's a whole circus in here. There's a whole nother life in here. A whole nother community coming up and down. And I started describing. I come, my grandma said, it was this man and it was this lady. She said, that's her daddy. And there was her mother and there was her grandmother. I said, really? I said, he had these overalls. She said, yeah, they were farmers. They had land here and there. I said, they were talking to her and asked her, was she ready? And she said, no, I'm waiting for such and such. And so I stayed for a few hours and I massaged her and I talked to her. I said, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for letting me be here. I think a few hours after I left, either that night or the next day, when a child or somebody she was waiting to come, she said, you can come she went up with them. But when I was there, she'd go out of the body and go up. Then she come back down in the body. Then like she was testing. She get up, go up, but she didn't go past the ceiling. And then she come down and said, no, I'm waiting for such and such. Hey, money. Yeah, it's a real world. And I realized when I would talk about this and I would ask people about it, and they'd be like, she is crazy. That's when I started to realize that I'm not crazy. You're just blind as fuck. You just can't see. So just because you can't see it and you don't understand, you say something's wrong with me, when no, you're the one that has the deficit, not me. So that's why I don't fuck with a lot of people. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. I'm not going to stop my gift. I'm not going to believe that there's something wrong with me. No, there's something wrong with you. You can get the fuck away from me. What you going to fucking do? Because I know everybody is going to need this at some point in their life with someone that they love, or when it happens to you. And it's going to happen. It's not if, it's just when. Yeah. And it's usually the ones that think that they're okay and it's never going to happen to them and you're stupid. And it's when it happens, they're all over the place. Just like when it happened to the young man and he was saying, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God, what did I do? How can I get out of here? How can I get back? And I'm like, you can't. Or many people think they're dreaming. Because it's like you're dreaming. Like when people go to sleep, you don't know if you're dead or not. Most people wake up, they don't even know that they've been traveling or somebody snatched them out of their body. You just think you had a nice sleep. Most people don't even know they talk in their sleep. Or somebody comes in and talks to them or lay in the bed with them or they get out of their body. They don't know what the fuck happened to them. They just think they just went to sleep. So when you went to sleep, you know how you go to sleep and you're tired and you wake up and you be so groggy, you're like, where am I? You don't even know where you are. You've been so tired. And to get yourself together, you're like, where the fuck? Oh, God, where was I? What was I dreaming? What happened? That's how it feels. For many people, they get knocked out or they pass out or they're in surgery or it's in trauma and they're hit really fast and an accident or something shot and it's like, whoa. Because your body looks the same. The template is the same. You can still see your hand and everything. But it's not the physical hand, it's the template. The real hand. So they think, because I sit up, I can still breathe. You think you're in your real body, your physical body, but you're in the real body. Until they look around and they go, oh, what the fuck? And you're stretching and you get up and you get to moving around. You're like, and you look back. The physical one's on the ground. You're like, what the fuck? Then they start to figure out. Uh-oh. Yeah. It feels the same. It looks the same. The same way you're breathing, you're listening, you're talking. When you're moving your hand, you think that's a physical hand? It's the energy in the template body that's moving the physical hand. And if your body dies right now, you get out of it, you'll still be able to move and see the same template. It's just like when people lose a leg or something and they get what they call phantom symptoms. They say they can still feel the leg, feel the toes, feel the arm, feel the fingers, because it's there still. The template, like the matrix, that the skin, the cells start to replicate on and grow the tissue, the organ, the artery, and the vein, that is still intact in the ether mind. The matrix is still intact. It just doesn't have the physical to fill in and to cover. The batting of the eyes, the lungs, the breath, inhalation, exhalation. You can still do. That's why it gets confusing. Like when Fawn was saying, this is not, this isn't my house. Oh, it's a dream. It's a dream. Okay, I'm going to go back to sleep. And then Selena was doing it sometimes too. I'm going to go back to sleep. Yeah, I'm going to go back to sleep when I wake up. I'm going to be back. It's just a dream. It's still the same. It's still the same. You're not dreaming, baby. You're not dreaming. It feels the same. Like when I would sit with a dead body in the coffin, and I sit maybe in the chapel, and during the wake they let you see them, and I touch them, I talk, hello, and some of them will already have gotten up, or they'll try to lay back in it, and then they see nothing's inside of there, it doesn't move, and so they'll stand beside it if they're attached to that body, that hair, that skin, that energy. Yeah, you can feel them. And the person is standing there. And I can see, are they here? Are they there? They are reminiscing about being in the body. They're mourning the body. They're grieving the body. They're thinking about the pregnancy of the bodies, the babies they had, the love they had, the pain, the hate, the whole experience, the driving in the vehicle. And they can no longer be in it, and they might not have been ready to go, and they grieve while they are going back over the experience. How you doing? And I look at it, and I look at them, and they look at it, and we talk. Sometimes they don't want to because it's so emotional, and they want to get back, and so they try it on. And I'm like, yeah, you can't get back in that one. They basically gutted it. And to see this, and I go home and I reflect, and I'm like, damn. Oh, wow. This world, this whole world, and it doesn't end. It's so fascinating that when the physical body ends, your life that was inside of the body still continues. It never dies. It never ends. You keep evolving if you choose to evolve, or you stay stuck. And if you find someone to help you move through it. Like I remember a year or two ago, it was this man, he asked me to look at his mom, and he knew she was dying because she didn't want to hear what we had to say. And she did not ascend above religion and the limits of religion until she got out of the body. And then I started to talk to her and teach her. We were doing meditation and yoga. She never did meditation and yoga because she believed in Jesus. And she believed that that was against Jesus. And I said, wait a minute, your mother's in this house, and there's an attic. There's like a room up there with a window top. He said, I know the house you're talking about. That's an old family house. What he tried to give her in the body, she rejected her son. Once she ascended out of the body, she then wanted to talk to me. She's like, I don't believe in that stuff. She didn't want to talk to me. She didn't believe in readings or internet. But when she got out of the body, she said, come and talk to me. And I said, okay, we're going to do some breathing. We're going to do some grounding. And I'm going to teach you about these energy fields and breath work. She said, okay. She's just like, the organs be kept. When they're not kept in the body in Egypt, that's a higher level of embalming and science, and it's the way each organ is treated and dehydrated and taken out of the body to mummify the body and preserve the body with certain oils. And that process, they said, is so intense, they still have not duplicated that. And they would have them in different special pots. And beautiful. It takes, almost a month? I don't know if it takes longer than a month to embalm the real way, the Egyptian way. So they definitely, I don't think they do that here because it takes so much. Yahshua and Buddha attended school. I don't really think they'd want to put so much time and energy into that. And the spiritual aspect of teaching an ascension to the body, I feel like that's what Nipsey needed done to his body. That's what people like King Von, my father, with certain spirits like that, they needed that done to Prince, needed that done to his body. Michael Jackson needed that done to his body. Because those were gods in bodies. Came to resurrect. Those are Christ beings. They kill them. They don't want them here. So they're not going to embalm them in a way that they will ascend, or kill them in a way that it'll be easy for them to ascend. They'll kill them in a way to trap them, to keep them stuck. So then they'll look for people in bodies to help them ascend. That's one reason why I like doing it, and I learn so much from it, because well, unfortunately, we don't always see them. We treat them like weirdos, just like people treat me. Oh, bitch got a problem now. Don't talk to that bitch. But then a lot of people do, higher ups that don't want them here, don't want the messiahs here. They recognize them, and it's like, oh no, we got to get rid of this person. If this person doesn't bow down, this person doesn't let us break them, we have to suppress this person. And if that doesn't work and people pay attention to them, we must martyr and crucify this person, because this person is a Christ body. We have to keep crucifying the Christ every time they come. And then they'll paint him as a weirdo. They started doing that to Michael before they killed Michael. Michael's crazy, wacko jacko, and they stole his publishing and his money, but they first assassinated him with the character and made fun of him, and a caricature, drugged him. When you see certain people being done like that, most people will join in and help to do it, because they want to be accepted with the crowd, instead of looking deeper and saying, wait a minute. It's something, the more you look at the person, and then since many people can't really talk to them and engage them, they don't know. But as I have started to talk to them, and they sit and they're so intelligent and they're so deep, and as they say, I need some healing, I need help with this, I need help with that, and I'm like, okay, I have to now learn how to help this person. Where's this person go? What work? And they all have somebody or a group. There is a place for all of them to get medical work. Psychic surgery. Energetic body surgery. Depending on which body's torn. And they have organs. We have organs in all of the bodies. And when somebody's shot like that, it pierces through the different layers, not of just the physical tissue, but also the layers of the bodies that you don't even know you have. It will destroy. If they shoot a person right, which is what they try to do, depending on where and how they shoot them, they try to shoot them in a way and make them leak in a way that the person cannot be repaired physically or energetically or in the other anatomy, so that they cannot ascend after the crucifixion. They cannot resurrect. They do that on purpose if it's a person that has a Christ consciousness in them. That's what I learned through working with Nipsey. So, even though every person that physically dies needs some type of psychic surgery, when it's like him, when it's like Michael, when it's like my father, where there's extreme torture and extreme brutality to the person, they need more psychological, mental, emotional assistance and surgery on the different selves to put them back intact so they can grasp the reality, the different layers and levels of reality, and how to put themselves back together, or which piece to put together. Then it can activate and charge the electromagnetic grid of that body. To drain their spiritual energy and deplete their energy. Yes, Gwen, and like shatter the field so bad that it cannot be glued. The fuck, I heard something clicking. I don't know what the fuck. Put back together. It cannot be fused back together. And that's why, and I know it's been a long answer for Londa, but I was just trying to explain to you some things I saw and places I went with him to see what I never saw. I'm like, whoa, they get surgery and they have doctors. Just like, okay, if you look on YouTube, because they're not in circulation on TV no more, they have things, you go in different countries or Latin countries, psychic surgeons. And they have medical doctors that are also psychic surgeons, where entities, high-level doctors, neurologists, physicians, herbal, different forms of doctors, herbal medicine, different types of surgery for babies, for adults, for hands, for legs, for feet. They'll come down from the different planes. Y'all don't believe me? Start looking this stuff up. Start looking on YouTube and stay away from people that will tell you this shit is a fairy tale. And they'll start guiding the hand of the surgeon while you're down here in the flesh body, showing them how to, where the problem is, where the cyst is, where the disease is, what's the cause of it, remove it, move through the surgeon's body to put the energy field back intact so that the energy grid will be reinforced and solidified, so then it will grow the physical tissue into the energy field to repair the body, the physical body, while you are repairing the energetic field, the unified field. You see. But that's, something that is in, that I'm going to put in the book that Nipsey was showing me and that it was teaching me. I thought it was quite amazing. Where everything in this world hinges on a unified field. An ethereal matrix. Once you put that back together, even if you can't do it in the flesh, but you put it together and you reattach it in a unified field, you can still see the energy. You can still stabilize the form of the person that you know as long as they want to be. You say it bothers me to this day. When I was very young, I saw my dad's body. Oh, God, right after he committed suicide. Did you talk to anybody, get any therapy for that, or did any spiritual people do any spiritual work for him and help him work through that and being healed for that? Because he probably is not resting. If he did that to himself, self-murder, self-hatred, if I don't know if you talked to him or somebody talked to you for him or passed his messages, or did he go to someone so that he can, because that's pretty heavy. If you were given a body, you were given a life in this realm, and then you take your life, you self-murder. Ooh, that's heavier than someone else doing it to you. You actually give up your own body. This person needs a lot of work, a lot of care to figure out, if they haven't figured out yet, why would your father do that? So I don't know if you dealt with someone. You said, Yolanda, I am all in amazing. Hey sis, when I had my injury, I imagined I was screaming, but in reality, I passed out and I recorded. No, if you imagined it on some level, you were screaming. So I don't know if anybody actually heard you physically screaming, or did somebody tell you you were screaming, or did you hear yourself screaming? Because if you imagined it, you weren't imagining it. It was happening on some level of the self, of the soul. Many times they tell you things are in your imagination and they're not real, and they are. But just because people don't understand it or they don't see it or hear it, they'll say that didn't happen to you. You're making that up. You're lying. Something's wrong with you. And I'm telling you, as I'm dealing with these spirits and as I talk to them and they talk to me and they can see what I can't, well, then you did. Because I would say I don't talk in my sleep. I don't snore this and that. And I woke up and I heard myself talking to someone. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So I'm having a conversation. Just like when Celine said, we saw you. And we heard you. I'm like, you were here? She's like, yes. I said, oh my gosh. She said, we didn't want to tell you. A lot of us come in here all the time. We talk to you. We come visit. And we learn. And I'm like, huh? I had no idea. If she wouldn't have told me, I felt something. I felt somebody. But I thought, no, maybe I slept hard. Or I don't know what the fuck. I thought I saw somebody. I passed out. Did I? And she's like, yeah, you did. We just was not going to say nothing. So a lot, I will bet you money that don't happen to me. That I don't talk in my sleep. I don't move a certain way. And until I actually woke up and heard myself, you don't know who's talking to you. That's why it's so important. Not for everybody, because it's not for everybody. People that are spiritual and these things are happening to you, or you want to really get into them with yourself, your loved ones, people that passed, people that you feel are coming to you in your life and you want to resolve things or just tap into them to go deeper into the spirit. You want to start to consecrate the house and spiritually cleanse the house and do spiritual floor washes and door washes and windows and consecrate it and do prayers to block out certain entities before you go to sleep that you don't want. Because I'm telling you, they're smooth. Those things are so sneaky, and the way they move in the different dimensions, like I said, Michael moves so light. If I was just talking to him and pay attention, I wouldn't have known Michael was here. Because he knows how to move around and he doesn't want to be seen. He tips and he walks so lightly you can't hear him. I'm just in tune enough that I know when somebody's in here. And then I can see what it is and if it's human or not, or wasn't about it or not. And then he would giggle. I basically started giggling. So I knew, I was Michael. And he goes. And he didn't move, so I knew he wanted me to know. But you have to be very, very, he's so quiet. He's so methodical. And he works at learning to move lightly. Spirits are like that, they move lightly. That you have to be really, really very sensitive to hear them and fine-tuned to hear them. And if you're not, and you're a magnet for these types of entities, they'll wait till you go to sleep. And all kinds of stuff goes on in your house. And you will wake up disoriented and you will wonder what happened to you. That's why I'm saying, let's say even if you don't want to do readings, even if you don't want to explore the other side while you're in the body, there still might be someone who wants to explore you. There still might be someone that wants to do a sex ritual, a love ritual, a psychic attack, a curse on you, and do fucked up shit to you in your sleep or move around in your house. Psychic self-defense is still very, very important. Extremely important. Because people will be doing things to you, fucking your life up in your sleep, and then you'll wonder when you get up why all types of weird shit happens to you. Yeah, Gwen, yeah, he made Thriller. Yeah, and see, there were a lot of negative entities around him, controlling him, that industry as well. Those same type of ghouls that he saw were in there, binding him, controlling him, and wouldn't let him go. It was like a blood in, blood out kind of thing. You see that? Very demonic entities holding him in that world. But Anyway, I'm going to go now. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's like 2:19. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I'll decide if I'm going to come back this week at all. I'm going to do some products and I'm going to put on my hair and let you see how they work. Like something kind of lighthearted. Because I still got a lot of work to do. My business partner picked up some packages yesterday, so she's going to be shipping some things out probably tomorrow. And then I have to get the rest of the products together and pack those that I owe, and finish the readings that people have been waiting for me to do on their physically dead loved ones. They want to, so I got a lot of stuff to wrap up. So I'm not gonna promise to do any heavy readings yet. I still have to finish one on Nipsey too. I was telling you all about the windows being burst at the marathon, the vandalization. I found some more stuff out about that, so I'm gonna try to go through this week. Quite interesting because there's someone that I'm going to do a reading on that's tied to Nipsey and what happened around that time. It's quite amazing. I'm glad to be alive during this time. I'm honored to be able to do these things, even though it's a bad time. It's a very turbulent time. I'm glad to be alive long enough to realize that I'm having these gifts and I'm learning how to develop them and to meet you all at this time where you also have the gifts that you want to develop and you have the interest and you're open to have the experiences and to listen and to learn and to grow. And we're going to need them with what we're dealing with. And this time we will have to walk by faith and not always by sight. I got an alert from the phone company saying that there was going to be a special, like a free offer or a deal to get that 5G upgraded phone. I don't want that 5G phone, but they're probably going to make it so the phones we have don't function if we don't get the 5G phone. So what we also need to be looking at is the different it's like little patches or barriers that you can put on the phone to protect you, like from the radiation. Yeah, because we might not have a choice, and I'm sensing that they're going to put, because you see they stay up in space, and they're putting more space centers and house colonies and growing food up there. Like they're deliberately going to try to destroy the earth and destroy a certain amount of people on it. Like literally turning into like a radioactive dump site. Eliminate a certain amount of people and then move to another dimension or move into space. Some of those planets, different planets where they know they can live there because they keep going. It's amazing spiritual knowledge. Make me want to throw away this high school diploma. No, I mean, we needed to function in the third dimension, but you also need a diploma in the spirit realm. Like when you go to these schools, they kill you. Basically, and they tell you don't listen to yourself, don't trust yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere. You trust us. You trust only this degree we give you. You follow these instructions we give you because what you feel, what you think, what you say doesn't matter, and then people lose themselves and they put everybody down that don't have them degrees and walk and talk and write and act like them. And then many of those people I've met, although they're successful in those fields and they have those degrees, they don't know who they are and they don't like themselves and they're miserable. A lot of those people are miserable. And then when they start breaking down and they start having an awakening and going back, if they have a strong energy, they strong ability, they start waking up to themselves, they have a mental breakdown. They think something is wrong because you are told this is not real. This matrix is real, and your life revolves around it. And they don't know what's reality and what's not. It says they are creating galactical microwave. Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of people are not going to make it, and they'll get more cancer, more diseases, and more mental problems and brain problems. So it's okay to have the education in this life. You got to move through this life to function, but you also have to have the education and knowledge of yourself, because that's what lasts forever. That will help you move through this realm and the others. Trusting yourself, knowing yourself, developing the higher spiritual self. The other one with the piece of paper in the school that you see, those are crashing. They don't matter anymore. They don't really exist in a realm outside of this one, where you're teaching people to sell their soul for fame, for fortune, for fake education, kill themselves for a piece of paper. I've seen people that have PhDs and they be in school to like they 40 and 50 some years old, and then they be broke and they be up under so much debt, and they got all them degrees in that paper, and they can't even get a job to pay back all them loans and debts they have, and they got all that shit in their head. Half their life is gone because they done spent it studying them books and sitting there to get a piece of paper, and they really have nothing to show for it. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, what you want to do, but in this day and age, most some people get that, and now it don't even have no value. A lot of people homeless and making hamburgers and shit. What we say? Cognitive dissonance is a bitch. Realizing that everything that you have been taught and learned is a damn lie. Yes, and that you've been dumbed down and kept from the truth and taught to turn on yourself, basically. Taught that you're crazy and everything you believe is not true, and you're stupid if you don't have this, if you don't have that, if you don't live here, if you don't live there, if you don't have this paper in this class. And that's good, like I say. You want to know about these things. You want to be educated in all things, as much knowledge as you can. But you never want to be in a position where you will betray your own self and you refuse to get the knowledge of who you are and why you are here, and you get the balance of everything inside of you and outside of you. There has to be a balance. You never let anything or anybody override who and what you are. You must know why you're here, who you're here, what your purpose is, what your value, what you came to do, how you came to do it, how long you came to do it, and when you leave, and set your boundaries and you manifest that. But yes, of course, I would never say be ignorant. You must become balanced within yourself, and you must know the imbalances and how to fix them, and you must know about as much in the world, about the world, outside of the world, around you, and everyone in it, and the players, the real ones, the fake ones, the ones that apply to you, the ones that don't apply to you. Like when Morpheus saying, "What are you looking at, Neo? Him or the red dress?" Yeah, we're always taught to look at the red dress. And, I many times I don't really feel comfortable. So I think after tonight, I'm not gonna share as much of the things I shared, because I think you shouldn't cast your pearls to swine. You shouldn't give your knowledge to people for free that are stupid as a motherfucker. You should give your knowledge to people that it means so much to that they'll pay you for it. Mm-hmm. To me. Because you have too many stupid motherfuckers looking at you. Just, they don't believe you. They say they don't believe you. But they watch you every time you fucking come on. They got something to say, but then you ask them something. All they can teach you about is putting some
I can't even say that. I ain't even finna let that come out my mouth because they too stupid to do that. I'll finish that put a mason gill in their ass. A lot of them don't even know how to make a goddamn homemade douche to clean their fucking pussy out. They then go get a mason gill and go get a damn artificial douche to douche they stinking ass. They just clean the low part of their fucking bowels, stinking like a mother. But that mean they want to say you don't know what the fuck you saw. You know what I'm saying? Don't even know how to wash their ass. Or if the lights go out right now and they can't go in there and warm nothing up in the microwave, they don't even know how to go out there in the woods right now and talk to one of them goddamn rabbits out there and get them a damn meal to come in there and fucking cook. They don't just stupid as hell. If I was hungry right now, I know how to go over there in that damn lake and get me something to eat and pick some salad and shit out the goddamn ground. Stupid motherfucker. Let me go up here to the Walmart and let me see what they got up here. And let me go up here to Wendy's and shit. Give me some of this GMO shit. I can walk around there to the fence right there where them trees at and get me something to eat right down now. If that's what the fuck I got to goddamn go down there and do. You know, it might come down to you have to do that shit. You might have to make your own wash. Make you a damn fire there. Go hunting. What you saying? Yeah. Stupid as a motherfucker. Yeah, go to hip hop and IHOP and get them a goddamn microwave cheeseburger and some powdered egg and shit. I mean, what you? No, they can't. I want to tell you the fuck you don't know. Yeah. All these women trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't do and have a bowel movement once a week and once every fucking 2 weeks. And they won't try to tell you what the fuck to do, what the fuck you don't know what to do. And think that shit normal. So I'm reading people, how often do you have about once a week and and you think that that's a good thing? And you around here fucking and sucking dick and only your ass open up once a week? Once every 2 fucking weeks? I know your ass is hollering. But when I know you pull your drawers down, your drawers stand up by themselves, I know your ass stinking than a motherfucker up inside. But you got a degree though, and you know you smarter than me. You know every goddamn thing. You know when you 30 years old, like hey. Charles. You know, you so goddamn smart, ain't you? I'm gonna see how long that degree hold you walking around here like that with your ass opening up once a week or once every 2 goddamn weeks. I'm gonna see what that degree do for you. Cause you ain't gonna be in too good a health with that degree you got with your ass packed up like that. And the main ones be like, yeah, they'll be the main ones that teach. Grandma said you must, open your bowels, clean your stomach, your breath. Yeah, be a lot of younger people may have to. Ooh, now I'll talk to you on the phone because their breath be stacked. And then have you ever been around a woman go use a toilet and get up and her ass stinking and all she did was damn TT? What the fuck? Ass light up the whole toilet and all she did was pee. But you young though. And you got a nice car and a degree. But your ass light up this goddamn room so hard that if I light a match, this motherfucker will blaze up like 1, 2, 3. I'm talking about hot and funky at the ends and just pull your drawers down for 2 or 3 minutes. Hotter than a motherfucker. I'm just like, but they young. Yeah, the whole house be stinking. They young though, you know. They young. No, not wear a wig. That's all. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, they just TT. Yeah, I know you know. I know y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, the funk will hover like a hover around the fucking toilet and around the area, inches around the area for like a few goddamn hours or a day or something. Boy, don't shit. Don't let them go. Go in there. Oh, my God. Thick and funky ass juice and gas that's up in there. Just hanging around the front door. Yeah, but you young and yeah, don't have no cloth. Soap. Don't sit there. You need to take them wet wipe and them Clorox wipe. Let them wash with dry tissue. And it be that stiff funk caked up in their ass. They need to go up there even in that public bathroom. Get that liquid soap and pull a lot of them towels down. And put that hot water down in there with this dig around up at like 1 inch or 2 up in their asshole and circle it round and pull down and then push it back around in there. Funk from that. Yeah, Like, look, don't make me throw up. Yeah, I said, as a man, see the man saying it. The man said he experienced this shit. Women's actually out here stink. And yeah. But don't just wash your asshole with a Clorox wipe. Take it like your baby finger, something like this. Go up in there, like put it on top of your finger and stick it up in your asshole and swirl it round. God damn it. Circle it round and pull down like you get that funk and them crumbs. Shit crumb and shit I'm round in the corner up there. So that funk, that funk spirit won't hover around. Because people have to go in there. That's why I don't use the public bathroom no more. I take a seat cover. And that lights out, but then again, I don't really, because I don't want that COVID to jump up out of there on me now. See, you got several things that'll jump up out of there because them people demon in their ass hover around there with that funk. I gotta hold it. I'd rather go out there on the side of the road or something before I go. They need a colon. What you said? Animal tranquil. Yeah, they need to go up and around in there. Need to hold their ass cheek closed and walk up to that sink. When ain't nobody looking and get that soap and that them strong, them thick cardboard like towels out that dispenser thing. And that hot water with that liquid soap. God damn it. Take about 2 or 3 of them wet cloths with that liquid soap up there and wipe the outside and wipe from the pussy down. Then take it and put on your finger or the lip or something and dig like at least 2 or 3 inches up in your asshole and swish it round. God damn it. Because a lot of people have shit crumbs up loosen up and around in there. God damn. And then these men put their mouth down on these bitches. Then want to talk to you and have all kind of shit crumb and pussy juice hung up in their mustache. See, I don't like no man get up on me with their mustache on their mouth. Because a lot of them eat out of people's ass. That nasty down and through there. You know, but they're young though. You know. Yeah. They know every goddamn thing. Yeah. Hey. I'm gonna go, y'all. Man, fuck these bitches, man. I love y'all out. I ain't said it'll help. I just said it'll help get that funk spirit out around there. If somebody got to go in there behind them and put their Clorox down around. But shit, it won't hurt if they get one of them stiff, you know, them Clorox pack that be that fiber. That fiber so they can have a little pack of Clorox in there, dip it and put they up on the top of their finger and shove it up around their ass and go. See, these women don't pull their pussy lip back and pull that clit back and get that funk. Stick it up in their pussy. I mean, cause you know what I'm saying? These women be fucking raw and that nigga ski off in them. The nigga cum and shit nasty. His ass is nasty. His prostate nasty. The fuck they gonna burn some newspaper? What the newspaper gonna help their ass for? Nobody go around here and burn no newspaper, no public bathroom. The hell are you talking about? Burn some goddamn newspaper? Look, if these people clean their throat out, see, a lot of people have this shit, juice and crumb and stuff in their throat muscle. They see, it's a lot of, oh my God, Jesus. I don't even when I told y'all I'm gonna go. They have it round, all like down around in their voice box and stuff. They larnic and they phonic because a lot of them like to eat people ass. A lot of them drink urine and eat mess, honey. They like to eat damn mess out of people's butt. That's I'm about to vomit. Eat out people's tail. Like my grandmama said, eat people's tail. Y'all think I'm lying. The people, they like to eat people's ways. How coughing hard in the morning gonna get that out their throat? They like to eat people hind. And, Well, a motherfucker a long time ago said, hey, I didn't want to talk to him no more. Before the sound come out, hey, the funk come out there, if they Bible come up over there. Don't trust a nigga with hair around their mouth and they get the top. Yeah, but like they put people booty in their mouth. See. And nothing but. That's what the fuck they be around here eating on. Oh, Lord. Made me sick on my stomach. Look. I'm finna get off of this fuck shit. I just came on here to say, hey, and we done went into this here. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.